All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. It's the commercial that's drawing a lot of attention. Why? Because, well, it's somewhat unique. In this case, I'm making reference to the commercial you're seeing right here. Blue Square Alliance Against Hate. It is all things discussing anti-Semitism. This will air during the Super Bowl. However, what happens following that? Who will continue to lead with the torch? I'd like to bring in my next guest, Rabbi Micah Greenland. Of course, he is joining us right here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. He is the International Director of NCSY and kind enough to join us yet again. Sir, it is always good to see you. Welcome back to the show.
Appreciate being here again. Thanks for having me.
But of course, sir. And so I want to make sure we have this clear, because so many folks that just got a chance to see the Blue Square Alliance Against Hate commercial are saying, hey, it's a good thing. They're talking about combating anti-Semitism, which I would perhaps argue that you will agree with that. But what we're saying, or what you're saying, is that, you know what? That commercial will end on Sunday, maybe air a couple of more times. We do this every day.
Absolutely. I appreciate the effort of the movement that's airing this ad, because it's shining a spotlight on what really is an issue that Jewish teens are facing, hundreds of thousands of Jewish teens in public high schools every single day in the hallways and in their classrooms. That spotlight is appreciated. The question, as you put it, is what happens after that sympathy or awareness or solidarity starts to kick in? Who's there for these teens in real life? And that's a role that we're playing, and something that I'm really pleased to be here to be able to talk about.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted to shine a light on what you're doing in a major way. And so you are no stranger to this show. You have appeared several times. And yet again, when we saw that commercial and when we were posed with doing this interview, but of course, yes, what you all do is truly needed. And I'm hoping that, as I just stated, we could really shine not only a light, but a floodlight on it. Do tell.
I appreciate that very much. So it really, since October 7th, 2023, the environment, the atmosphere for Jewish teens in public high schools has been a noticeable shift, where they have threats and bullying tactics that are being used against Jewish students, blaming them for unfortunate outcomes of a war halfway around the world, attributing the most nefarious motives to just 14, 15, 16-year-old Jewish high school students. And the ad itself used the term dirty Jew, but it can absolutely be that and many other even more nefarious threats or tactics that Jewish teens are facing. What they really need is community and solidarity within their schools. And that's something that our organization provides. We work with the schools themselves to set up Jewish student union clubs. We now have over 515 clubs across the United States that are offering community, connection, a Jewish lesson. They're open to non-Jewish students as well, so it creates community awareness within the entirety of the school environment, and provides a sense of support and solidarity for students that are otherwise feeling alienated.
Yeah, but Rabbi, correct me if I'm wrong, this really just isn't a college problem, correct?
Absolutely. So we're talking about high school campuses, right? And there's been so much discussion in the media and in the public square about what's happening in the college environment, encampments, and so forth. But we work with high school students, and this is a reality, and I appreciate that Robert Kraft, who's the owner of the New England Patriots and the funder of the ad that you just that we're discussing now, that you just showed, is bringing greater awareness to what the plight is of Jewish high school students today in America. It's not like when you and I were growing up, where Jewish students were treated as equal peers, and rarely did somebody experience anti-Semitism. Now it's commonplace, and in that environment where it's commonplace, the need for educational resources, mental health resources, solidarity and support within the school environment is more critical than ever. That's what we're here to provide.
I would even add to that, yet again, perhaps training, presence, relationships, consistency, all of which you are truly paramount with in making sure that that gets across to each and every one of the students. You know, sir, that when you joined us in the past, and I'm going to do it again, and you join us now, I always pose the question, what can I do in order to make a difference as well? Yeah, we aired the ad, we showed the ad, and we wanted to make sure that we shed light on it. But this interview, too, will come to an end. I will walk away this weekend. And while I'm walking away, what else can I do?
I appreciate that very much. A lot of it is the sense of support and solidarity with your Jewish neighbors in the community to say, you know, I understand you're going through a lot, and just want you to know that I have your back. Within the environment of a high school, it is critical to recognize that schools have to take action against bullying and threats that are violations of the school code of conduct. And what we've often seen is that some schools take action and many schools do not. And the action is to simply communicate with whatever disciplinary measures they have to say, this is actually a violation of our school code of conduct, and we're not going to tolerate it. You can't be a student in our high school. It's great that JSU operates, Jewish Student Union clubs operate within our school. That creates a sense of community support and solidarity, but it's not enough that the JSU club should be a safe space for teens. The entire school environment should be a safe space for all teens. And so that's something that anybody who has a student in a high school, has a family member or a friend who's a faculty member in a high school, to say, what are you doing to make sure that your school environment is safe for your Jewish students and for all students? That's something that can be a practical takeaway. I liked Bob Kraft's recommendation of the blue square. It shows, just putting something visible that shows solidarity.
Sure.
I see it as valuable, but it's a start. And the next step is specific action that lends support to Jewish teens and Jewish students who are facing these difficult and challenging environments.
Well said. Yet again, Rabbi Micah Greenland. He is the International Director of NCSY, joining us on the Live Zone. It's always good to see you, my friend. Make it a great weekend.
Thank you. You too. Appreciate that so much.